Welcome to Unrestricted. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. In 2016, I founded the Alamo City Aztecs, a professional basketball team located in San Antonio, Texas. In the year it took to grow this brand from the floor up, I was fortunate to come across and meet many other entrepreneurs. In an effort to understand and gain knowledge to what it means to be successful in the business world, I, along with our show producer, Peter Murray, decided to put together Unrestricted. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to episode 2, season 2 of Unrestricted with Ryan Johnson, the podcast here. We've got Coach Marcus Prentiss. He is the head coach for the Alamo City Aztecs, a minor league basketball team in the United States. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's been, I guess, kind of a long time coming. So to have you on, we have definitely many animated conversations.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see where this goes. Well, let's just start off. For those that don't know you, or even those that do know you and want to know a little bit more, where does your story begin? Where are you from?
I was born in Blue Island. It's right outside of Dalton, the south side of Chicago. Family, we moved around. Father was Air Force. Did a little time in the Air Force, about 5.5, almost 6 years. Ended up moving back to the south side of Chicago. He got married a few times. Ended up settling down and moving the family out into the south suburbs, just to kind of get us out of the community that we were in. And ended up spending my elementary, my middle school, and my high school years out in the suburbs. Just transitioning back and forth, during the summer times, back out west, with the rest of the family. So, high school, I went to a high school called Ritz South High School. It was probably a couple of miles away from where Antoine Walker's brother and the rest of the family played at Jarvis Walker.
Okay.
Graduated 2005. Got into a little bit of trouble. I was given the ultimatum: either you go to jail or you go to the Air Force. So luckily I had my dad there, so I was able to get me in. Told the judge I had already committed to the Air Force, and the judge told me, man, you know what? Let's go ahead and don't ever let me see you in my courtroom again. So
yeah.
I went ahead and I joined the Air Force, man, and 14 some odd years later, man, here I am still going at it.
Yeah. How is I know where you've been, but for people that are listening, where have you been stationed?
Started out in Ohio at Wright Pat, and moved from there and was stationed at Anderson Air Force Base in Guam.
How was that?
Man, it's 88 degrees, rain, sleet, hail, and snow.
Yeah. It's about 27-mile long island.
Yeah, it's actually probably maybe about an hour and 15 long ride around the island.
Yeah.
But the longer you stay there, it
feels smaller and smaller.
Well, for me, it felt smaller and smaller, but it starts to feel like home after a while.
Yeah.
I was single during during my first couple of years there, man.
Yeah.
So it was a little my bad, man, getting over that pneumonia a couple weeks ago.
You're good.
Yeah, man, it wasn't that bad, man. It wasn't that bad being in Guam. Let me see. After that, I went to Incirlik over in Turkey. Then after that, I went to California in Travis Air Force Base in Cali, and then we moved from there and came down here to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio.
Okay.
Back to the motherland.
Yeah.
Where it all started.
Yeah, that is. It's funny. I was thinking about that the other day. It's a shared experience that all the enlisted have in the Air Force. That bomb run that we all have to walk across on graduation day. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Where does coaching begin for you? In your story, where does coaching begin for you? Where's your
my father
genesis?
He was my coach when I was in elementary and in my youth days. So that was probably where it started. My grandfather, his neighbor, Mr. Coach Jones, he coached. It's a league called Small Fry. It's a traveling league, throughout the United States. And their tournaments are always in Florida. That's where they play their national championships at.
Yeah.
Made it to the championship rounds twice.
Wow.
So I mean, that was pretty cool as a kid, man. I think my pop still got my gold medals at the house.
That's cool.
But yeah, that was where it started, man. You know, just seeing how as a, you know, what these young kids call an old head, you know, with Coach Jones, how he conducted business, and not only as an owner but as a coach. And then, you know, my dad, you know, the grit, you know, the grind, you know, just, you know, him being hard on me and, you know, expectation wise. That's really where the platform was kind of built. For me myself, it actually started in Turkey, man. I wanted to put the ball down, man, because, you know, my knees and stuff couldn't take it. And I know I don't look 32 at all. Like, I look like I'm still like 16 or 15. Yeah, man, I was like, you know what, man, maybe I should put the ball down, man. Knees kept hurting, ankles kept hurting. So I was out, you know, just shooting around one day, and, you know, I started, you know, doing a couple little drills that I had already known. And there was a lady that was out there, and she had her son over in the side. And I just kept looking at him. You know, I kept watching him. He had to be maybe about a good 6'4", and he was like in 7th grade. And like, you know, his form was off. You know, he wasn't keeping the elbow in. The rotation of the ball was off. His footwork was, man, it was subpar. I was just like, man, this kid needs help. So I just walked over to him and was like, you know what? Hey, I just want to show you just a few things that'll be able to help you out. And so he was like, okay. And I looked at Mom. I said, are you okay? I just want to just show him, you know, just a few things.
Yeah.
And I ended up putting him through an hour workout. Like, it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then the mom was like, you need to charge for this. How much do you pay?
Yeah.
Excuse me, how much does it cost for a session? And I said, I'm just doing this out of the kindness of my heart. I just want to help him. And she was like, no, I'm gonna give you $50. Every time we come out, I'm gonna give you $50.
Wow.
So I was like, hey, well, okay, I'm not gonna, you know, turn down money.
Yeah.
So that's where it officially began. And immediately right after that, the head coach for the base team had left, and then I picked up right where he had left off, and that's when the ball got rolling.
Where so that was in Turkey.
Yes, that was in Turkey. Yes.
How long were you in Turkey for?
I was in Turkey for about 2 years.
Okay. So at what point in Turkey did that happen?
I played for the team probably for my first year there, so I'm about the second year, so going into like 2013, 2014.
Okay. And then after that, you moved to California.
Yes, I moved to Cali, Northern Cali, and I was stationed with a good old friend, great friend of mine, man, great friend, great mentor, Andre T. Chilton. Andre, man, he was also an Air Force member, but he was a well-known basketball player all throughout the Air Force, as well as coach. He's even, you know, been able to get on the platform of holding different sessions with Bradley Beal, Jordan Clarkson, Dwight Howard. So I mean, you know, his name is you know, he had very good credibility.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person, man, you know, I love to help people. I'm a people person. And, you know, I just kept, you know, talking to him little by little. And, you know, he kept expressing, hey, man, I want to open up my own gym. And, you know, I was just like, hey, you know what? Well, what's stopping you? So he ended up finding a building and was like, hey, Pete, you know, I'm thinking about opening up a gym. You know, I think I really am going to do it. In the meantime, he was hosting different clinics at different high schools and different middle schools. And I would come, of course, you know, just to help him out, you know, toss balls, you know, give instructions to the players wherever I see fit, correct form, correct footwork, and just be a sponge, you know, for that information. And so he was like, hey, man, I'm AP. I bought, you know, I go by Prentiss or P, you know, for the last name. He's like, AP, you know what? I got the building, man. What's up? So I was like, you know what? Hey, let's do it. So, you know, I came in, you know, the day that he, you know, got the keys, and you know, him and this old lady, they were in there, and they was knocking down walls, and I went on in there and knocked down the first walls. Yeah. And then from there, man, we set up, you know, a college area for the kids to come in, do their homework, you know, get situated, set up his office, set up the actual gym floor. Like, when I say we set up the gym floor, like, was in there painting the floor, like hands and knees, like we built it up from ground zero. Yeah. So it was, you know, it was a very good experience. And then from there, man, like once we got the rims up, everything solidified. Held the first camp there. We had Miss Erica Ringer from Love and Basketball. Never let a freshman take your spot. What's up, Erica? She's a beautiful woman, man. Very, very lovely spirit, very lively. But yeah, she came out, for the first annual camp that we held there, and it was just big, man.
Yeah.
It just took off, and from there, man, I was just literally his right hand man for everything.
Yeah.
And I just took everything that he said, to heart. Really just took everything and just like, man, just use it as a platform. Something able to build on top of. And yeah, man, was just looking forward to the next chapter until I got here. I'm a firm believer of everything comes back full circle, as Coach Bashar Williams always say. Everything comes back full circle. I'm a very faith-driven person, so I know that God puts you in a certain predicament or in a certain situation, so that way you can learn from it and then build on top of it.
So as you're in Turkey.
I went there too.
You were that.
Yeah, I went there too. Play ball over in Korea as well. So yeah.
You're in Turkey,
Mm-hmm.
and you find yourself, I guess, being exposed to a situation where you can see yourself coaching, you can see yourself training and developing from a basketball standpoint players.
Mm-hmm.
And you go into the base basketball team, mm-hmm. which, for those that aren't familiar, it can get it's a competitive level of play. Mm-hmm. From there, you move to California, and you're involved in a business, essentially, mm-hmm. starting a business, but still in the realm of basketball. So you're developing younger players.
Right.
How does that impact you now, those two experiences? And I guess to better form that question is when I hear that, I see a person that steps out onto a ledge to something new. Mm-hmm. So you allow yourself, which for a lot of people there's discomfort in that, and that can often be a wall that people aren't willing to get themselves over. So you allow yourself to be exposed to something new. Coaching, mm-hmm. you weren't, you said you saw that kid, you recognized how you could help, so you go help. They could have shut you down and been like, man, kick rocks.
Mm-hmm.
The mother could have been like, no, I'm not okay with that. Mm-hmm. But you allow yourself to be subject to that. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So now you realize that there is something for you in coaching. You move to California, and you allow yourself to be part of something bigger than yourself. Mm-hmm. Building a network of youth players to train. Mm-hmm. How does that impact you now? How has that gotten you? How has that formed your personality and your mindset now, I should say? So
when you start from what we call the grassroots, right? Everything is fundamental. Everything is it starts back at the basics. And so when you're dealing with that, and you're dealing with young people, children, kids, the youth, man, it just, I don't know, man, it gives you that great feeling, that great vibe, you know what I'm saying, that you can always improve upon and then bring it to the next level. Because you can't become an adult without being a kid first. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't start, dribbling the basketball between your legs unless you can dribble the basketball, period. Did
it help you simplify your instruction of the game?
Yes, definitely, man. Definitely. It opened up the doors to help you to understand why. A lot of the young kids now, they always want to know why. And it gives you a full understanding of the why you do certain things. Like if you watch Kobe Bryant, especially now that he's retired, he breaks down the why. Why did I go on attack? Why did I make this move? Or when he's evaluating other players now, he says, he talks about why, the combination dribble, or why would you do the hesitation, or what would you do in a certain instance where a defender lacks off. It just explains that why, which certain people, they should understand.
As a minor league coach, at the professional level, how have those experiences formed you and informed you as a coach and developed you as a coach?
So I mean, this was my first time, my first year going into it as a head coach. Last year I was the assistant coach. And to start off with, not even gonna lie to you, man, I was all butterflies. When I first seen those guys, I was like, man, I'm dealing with adults now, so it's gonna be different. And then once I walked on the floor, and once I, noticed, the inconsistencies with some of the players, and some of the things that they could have changed, to better help their game. Yeah. because I gotta say this, man.
Yeah.
A lot of players, when you give them feedback, and that's what we call it in the Air Force, when you give them feedback and you tell them, give them that constructive criticism that they need, when you give them that, some players take it as, oh, well, you're hating on my game, or you know what I'm saying, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, dude, I've been studying this, you know. I literally, I sit at the house and just watch film for hours.
I know
you know what I'm saying?
I know
it's
you
just
do.
like, man, you know, this is what I do. It's what I love, you know. And it's like, you know, I'm trying to help you to improve your, you know, your abilities and your capabilities. And, you know, whether you take it or not, that's on you. But don't hate me for it.
Right.
But, you know, going back to it, you know, walked in the gym and seeing those players, you know, you get kind of a little on the edge. But, you know, that the moment that you step on that floor as a coach, you're a coach. And everything that you learn from the youth, it transforms right on over to the adults. You know what I'm saying? You're able to incorporate the same things. And a lot of the adult players, the men players, some even women, they lose a sense of the fundamentals. You know, they get so caught up in trying to keep up with the game now that you missing out on just the fundamental step. You know, the fundamental thinking, basketball IQ. That's what they forget. They forget about. So, you know, sometimes you just got to remind them of that. And then go into, you know, the extra stuff, the extra move. But they still need to understand why they're doing it.
Right. What are the challenges you face as a coach at this level?
Oh, challenges. My number one challenge is when I make a decision and it's for the greater good of the team won't have my back. And I say that because I recently, you know, even last year, you know, when I was an assistant, I would make a certain rotation. I would have the approval of the head coach, but the players, they don't approve of, oh man, well, why you taking me out? Or why you doing this? Or why you doing that?
Sure.
Never mind the, you know, the studying that I've done, you know, the research, you know, watching the film, you know, because watching film is key.
Yeah.
You know, you're able to pick up on the inconsistencies of the opposing team. And it's like, man, you're not doing that. You know, all you're doing is you going into the gym, putting up 100 shots at the same shot.
Right.
You know, not even moving, you know, not even using the combination, not even putting yourself in a game time situation or game time like situation and understanding the why. You know, you going in there, you working out by yourself instead of having a coach or a mentor or somebody to guide you and to help you see and build that vision. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you look at Dwayne Wade or you look at Gary Payton or you look at Steve Nash, man, they weren't on the court all day. Even look at Kobe, he wasn't on the court all day by himself.
Right.
He had to build those game time like situations.
Yeah.
And when he did that, he had to have a coach in there with him or, you know, somebody of a coaching stature.
Right.
You know, I'm sorry, man, I get real passionate about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, going back to it, man, it's just, you know, just not having that, you know, that feeling of, oh, you know, they got my back. Now, mind you, you know, how many games we lose? What, 5, 6, maybe even 7 games, you know, when I first came on, before we first came on.
Yeah.
And then after that, we lost, 2?
Yeah.
And then this previous season, we lost the semifinals. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Constant growth.
Right.
Do you think part of that comes from being a relatively new coach at this level? Do you think do you think experience will give you more of the credibility?
I do. I definitely believe in that. But it's also all about, you know, the relationships that you build with the players as well.
Sure.
You know, somebody that's coming in that's new, they have to get a feel for you. They don't really understand that trust isn't built. But, you know, once they gain that trust, or once they have that trust on both ends,
sure.
You know, it goes both ways.
Yep.
You know, once you both establish that trust, man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a unique professional level to be at. When I say unique, it's often very challenging because you take basketball in other countries outside of the U.S. You look at soccer in particular, the different levels that are so well developed in any country. I mean, honestly, even America here in the U.S., we have I'm not a soccer aficionado, a football aficionado, but the levels are clearly stated.
Right.
They're well defined. The funding seems to be there.
Right.
Definitely outside of America for sure.
Right.
But when it comes to professional basketball in the United States, after the NBA, after the G League, which is owned by the NBA, it is very much like the Wild West. It's every league for itself. Every league is trying to establish credibility, and so those leagues and the teams that are in those leagues are challenged with kind of an uphill battle right now, looking for credibility and to come across and be, not just come across, but actually be dependable for those players. And so I think that players that often come onto those teams have at least the experience of a bad experience in their path and their experience if they're playing at this minor league level in the US. And so I think that is probably a challenge that you have to, from a coaching perspective, probably face. It's almost like you're the ex-boyfriend paying for the sins of the previous, or you're the current boyfriend paying for the sins of the ex-boyfriend. And I think that probably plays a part.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, you hit the nail right on the hammer with that one, man. It's like, these players, man, they go to these different leagues and they get burned so many times, and then when you present them with a great opportunity, it's like, oh man, here it is again.
It sounds good, but
it sounds good. It might be good, but it's not really good, and they don't trust in that process. You know what I'm saying? And
do you think that jades some of their openness to feedback? Because a lot of players at this level, there are a lot of talented players. Maybe they're not NBA level, maybe they are, and they just haven't gotten there yet. But there's a lot of talented players, but it may jade them towards receiving feedback because X, Y, and Z.
So I'll tell you like this, because ever since the season has ended, I got sick towards the end of the season. Like I was, I had pneumonia, and I was down so bad, man, I couldn't even get out of the bed. So I missed the semifinal game, man. I had to have my assistant coaches step in, but yeah, man. It's ever since then I've been doing one-on-one interviews, closing interviews with my players and providing them with that feedback, from the season. And from the first one that I did, I give you a prime example. I called him the general. And, I sat him down, I told him, the positive things about his game, the things that I think that, will help him to progress and to help him get to the next level. Because, I mean, he can flat out play. He has the basketball IQ that you want. But I also gave him the other side of the feedback, and it's like, okay, well, here are the things that you need to work on.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah. But it wasn't, I didn't present it to him like, oh, wait, you suck at this or you suck at that. No, because I respect him as a man.
Right.
That's number one. I respect him as a man first.
Yes.
And then number two, I presented to him not as, me trying to hate on his game, but me trying to get him to that next level, get him to understand where I'm coming from and where I see it from.
Right.
And he took it well. He took it well. It was like, hey, I appreciate, everything that you're doing. I appreciate everything that you're saying. He even gave me feedback, which is what I always ask my players, provide me with feedback, so then that way I can fine tune my game, help me to be a better coach, and even a better person, a better man. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end, that's what you are.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, definitely, man. Yeah, they seem to really like the feedback because they haven't gotten it before.
Sure.
There are not a lot of coaches that will sit you down and tell you, hey, in a respectful manner, this is what you're doing
in a formal
right.
setting.
Right. This is what you're doing right. This is what you're doing wrong. This is what you can improve upon.
Sure.
So, it's different for them. And I think that that's something that, they can benefit from if they take to it. And if they don't, I mean,
it's their decision.
Hey, it is what it is.
It's kind of like we talked about with Peter Murray in the previous episode when he talked about being in the music studio with a client and him as a producer providing feedback to an artist. If that artist has defenses up and walls up, they're not going to be really receptive, and then the music really the music suffers.
Yes.
And he, even as a producer, needs to be open to feedback,
right?
Because again, if he's not open to it, it's a two-way street,
right?
And it speaks to the trust that you talked about a few minutes ago. A two-way street. Trust is a two-way street, and if he's not receptive to it, again, the music suffers. So as a coach, talking to your player, you're the coach, you're the producer, the artist is the player. the game suffers, the team suffers,
Right.
the objective of winning and winning championships suffers if communication isn't two-way.
Yeah, I was listening to the interview a little bit ago, man. I was laughing when he said that because he had it, man. It was just like, man, it's crazy because it's not only you see a lot of things that happen in life, and it not only affects one group or one type of business. It affects it all the same way. It's just different, the same way the communication, the feedback in the corporate world, it transitioned over into different parts, in another part. So, it's all the same, man. And like I said, I got a real good chuckle out of that one because it was just like, man, I thought I heard that one before.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Sounds real familiar.
That sounds real familiar. It's kind of validating, though, I would think, when you hear that.
It definitely makes you feel good, man. It makes you feel like, you know what, I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
If he's saying that in his world, and and I know he's on the right track.
Yeah.
And I know for sure I'm on the right track.
Right.
And then I went to a coach's clinic, man, in South Carolina, and
The Nike clinic, right?
Yes, the Nike basketball clinic. And I was able to sit there, man, and just listen to a lot of great coaches, man, a lot of NCAA and NBA coaches. And it was very assuring, you know what I'm saying? Because everything that I was saying to my players, to my team, is everything that they were saying. Mm-hmm. So it was just validating, man. I was like, you know what? I am on the right track. I am doing it, you know what I'm saying, how it's supposed to be done. Can I improve upon some things? Yeah, of course. I'm not Jesus, you know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect.
Sure.
But, it is what it is. It's all a learning experience. You take, what you can get from it, and then you push on.
Interesting. How do you see the platform that we're all using? Let's be honest. We're using this platform, right? It's not a secret. Like,
right.
Okay. How do you see this platform benefiting you? How do you see it benefiting others? What is your take on the platform? We're calling Aztec Nation, right? It's a platform.
Yeah,
right?
man. So I'm gonna give it to you real, man. From day one.
And before you give your answer, the reason I'm asking this is because this isn't the only platform out
Right.
there in life. There are other platforms.
Right.
And I think that when platforms present themselves to somebody on a path, I think it's important to utilize it, right? So that's just my quick 2 cents, but that's kind of, it's not just about Aztec Nation and trying to advertise it.
No, it is what it is, man. I mean, that's just like it, for me, I didn't have to, go and ask that, the kid's mom, if I can, help him out. I didn't have to, but the opportunity presented itself, so I just took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Wasn't even looking for anything in return, but just to help the young man out.
Right.
Same thing with Andre, you know what I'm saying? He didn't come to me and ask me, you know what I'm saying? I pursued him and just asked him. Each one of those, man, was a different platform, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't looking for the monetary value in it, like a lot of the players are these days. Oh, well, what can I get out? What can you do for me? And sometimes you just got to go all in, you know what I'm saying? Go all in for the different organizations that you're in, and then just reap the benefits of the blessings as they come along. And I mean, they're not going to come immediately, and that's where you have to practice patience. Patience and, what I'm saying, determination, and that grit and that grind, man. And then just utilize it for what it is. If it's a platform type of business, all right, cool. You utilize it as such. It's a platform business. They're there to help you, to get you to the next level. That does not mean that they're going to put you on the next level. They're going to help you get there. They're going to introduce you to and get you to the door. You have to put your hand on the knob, push the door open, and walk through the door.
Sure.
You can't lead a horse to water and make him drink. I mean, you can put his head in the water, and the horse will still die of dehydration if he does not want to drink. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But that's what it is. I came into this. I'm not looking for monetary, benefits or anything. I mean, that's great, but that's not what I'm looking for.
What is your ultimate goal as a coach?
My ultimate goal as a coach, man, is just like I treat my airmen now in the Air Force. My goal is to get them in a better place than I was when I was that age or when I was in that position. These guys that I'm coaching right now, they're far beyond my skills. But there are some different things that I see that they can benefit from that I can give them. And that's what I want to give them. And then when I have my staff, they're going to be able to give them different things, you know what I'm saying, that they see. And if you add all that together, oh man, that's a killer combination. if you follow the advice of what you're getting.
Interesting. Where do you see your path going?
And it's crazy, right? Started off as a skills trainer. I started off on my own.
Yeah.
Then it bumped me up to a skills trainer.
Yeah.
Underneath a solid coach, and then go from a skills trainer to an assistant coach, underneath another solid coach, and then it goes from assistant coach to head coach, and I am it.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, my father asked me, a couple months ago, what's next? I don't know, man. If an opportunity presents itself and I can go somewhere and coach, by all means, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take advantage of it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then I'm gonna stick to the guns and continue on doing what I'm doing.
Sure.
Continue on coaching at this level. Continue on coaching the youth. Continue on making an impact. The train doesn't stop. No matter how many passengers get on and off the train, it does not stop. So whatever opportunity comes to me, I like to take them all.
Yeah.
Take them all. Worst that they can say is no.
That's true.
But I would never know unless I take that leap of faith. And I'm like I said, man, my faith is very strong, man. And I'm a firm believer that anything that is for me, God will make sure that I'm gonna get through it.
Sure.
So just gotta endure the pain when it comes, because it's gonna come.
Yeah.
And hey, enjoy the blessings.
We've talked a lot about networking.
Yes.
What is how much value do you put on networking? We talked with Peter in the last episode about time. We could probably touch on that, I'm sure. But I want to talk about networking with you. What's your take just on your overview, or however deep you want to get into this, but the power of networking and
sometimes, man, it's just about who you know.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna make it in the business, especially over here in the United States. You're just not gonna make it in the business without having that one person. You know what I'm saying? Even if you could just mention the name, like, hey, I was in Xavier Silas's basketball camp, a couple months ago. Xavier Silas? Oh man, yeah, like, we was in this camp, ran down, shook his hand, talked to him, whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then what happens if you need, some backing on the resume, or what I'm saying, if you just want to throw something by, somebody with some different experience, that's one person you can go to. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not actively engaged in, trying to meet the next person, even if you're just saying hi, introducing yourself, just having a small conversation, you will never know the opportunities that they have to present to you. Networking is big. It's key, man. Whether it be on social media or whether it be in person, it's a powerful thing, man. I talked to a player, last week or early this week, and he's headed over to France right now. I don't want anything from him, but I make sure, I keep the communication up, because I watched his grind, I watched his journey.
Yeah.
Just give him words of encouragement. Hey man, you know what? Hey, I'm very proud of you, dude. Like, you've been putting in work, you know what I'm saying? And I see what you've been doing. And I just want to tell you, hey, I'm proud of you. I don't want nothing from you. I don't need anything. Just want to tell you I'm proud of you. Keep it up. You have young kids that are watching. I'm watching. Keep it up. You're doing very well. And he hit me back last night. It was like, hey, man, I appreciate those words, man. It means a lot. And that's what it's all about.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
How or where do you find your inspiration? I know you say you rely on your faith a lot.
Yeah.
But what else?
Inspiration. Man, it was tough coming up, man. It was definitely tough. But yeah, my inspiration, man, is just in the people that I meet on an everyday basis. Whether it be, a different player, whether it be, a person that's on my, photography team, whether it be, somebody that's assigned to the organization. It's like the grind feeds the grind. If you have that grind and you're surrounded by people of the same stature, like if I'm a wolf and I'm a part of a wolf pack and I'm surrounded by wolves that are just as hungry as me, we all need to eat. Right. And it's time for us to eat. Yeah. But if we are wolves and we got a little chia pet over here to the side, or a little chihuahua, little chihuahua.
How that chia pet got there.
Hey, it's just something that don't fit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't go. You know, you need to surround yourself with someone of the same product or someone that's gonna get you to the next level. You know what I'm saying? If we are hungry at this level, we need somebody that's at another level hungrier than us that's willing to bring us up to that next level. That's what my inspiration is. I'm trying to find that next person that's up here.
Teamwork.
Yes, man. Teamwork is the key. Teamwork makes the dream work.
It does. Yeah, I agree. How well? Speak more on that. Speak more on the power of that of people working together.
Oh man, so before the season started, man, we always try to come up with like a slogan. You know, what's the slogan gonna be? And I was sitting at the house, and we was going through different things, different mottos, and I was like, you know what, hey, we need to go all in. Help us to go all in. Go all in. Go all out. Go all in and go all out. Wait a minute, that sounds nice right there. That's a good ring. Aztecs, go all in, all out. Aztec Nation, all in, all out. Hey man, yeah, that sounds real good. Aztec Nation, you go all in. We gonna go all in for you. But you just need to make sure that you go all out for us. And I was like, man, that's a real statement. You know what I'm saying? That's real. It's, man, you gotta give it all, man. If I'm gonna give them all, you gotta give your all.
Do you think that people, when they're pursuing, we talk a lot about dreams and a lot about pursuing that. I think that is, I think it's real important in life. Right, you got your basic responsibilities, whatever that is for each person, and those you got to take care of. But the movie Rudy, there's a scene early on where the friend Pete says to Rudy, dreams are what make life worth living. And I think that I think there's something to that, right? So we talk about that a lot. Do you think people often underestimate the requirement to achieve their dream? So you talk about the wolf in the wolf pack. You talk about going all in. In this case, for an organization, for that organization to go all out, the people fuel the organization fuels the people, and it's a cycle, hopefully a positive cycle, right? But that could be any entity that people are a part of. It could be any team network that a person is a part of. So do you feel that people often underestimate what a dream and dream chasing entails?
Oh yeah, man. They are. I've ran into a few players, man. It's just like, oh yeah, man. Well, this is my dream. This is my dream. You know what I'm saying? I want to get to the next level. That's my dream. I wanna make it. All right, cool. So then that means you need to be in this gym. Yeah. That means you need to be calling me, let me know, hey coach, hey, I'm trying to get in the gym, I'm trying to get these shots up.
Yeah.
Hey coach, what's, like really, I need you to record me, coach, so that way we can look at my movements, and then you can help me break it down, so that way I can understand what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong.
Sure.
Or it's, hey coach, look, hey, I know, it's late at night, but I need to get a run in. Would you mind running with me? You know what I'm saying? Something of that nature. Like that's a person that's willing to get it. Not, oh man, well, hey, I'm a part of the Aztecs. That's it. Like, come on, man, you missing the whole
Sure.
dream. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You're missing the whole guideline. You're missing the whole set of rules that come to this. This is my team. You know what I'm saying? My vision is, if you're gonna come to this team, you're gonna come to this organization, any organization, you need to be willing to put in the work.
Sure.
Hey, we trying to win.
Right.
But as well as winning, we trying to improve and trying to build upon the next generation that's coming up behind us.
Yeah.
You can't do that going half-ass, excuse my language, but you can. You know what I'm saying? You cannot, because what you're going to do is you're going to teach the next generation half-ass steps.
Yeah.
Half-ass steps don't get you to the top of that mountain. It do, but it's going to get you there a lot slower than you can get. That's real.
That is. I think there's a lot of truth to that. What do you look for in a player?
So,
because it's not just talent.
No,
right? And when you start out, I think that it's real easy to get like into that NBA 2K video game mode where it's like, let me stack my roster. And we
99s,
right?
99, baby, team of 99.
And we live in an age in the NBA where we've got these super teams, right?
Yes.
And so, but I think that we're actually, when I say we, I guess I mean down to the fan level, right? I'm sure general managers and NBA teams realize this as well, but it's not just about getting 3 and 4 superstar level players, because you could have in the NBA you've got the salary cap you have to deal with, so it's about players you can afford, and then your bench level, your bench is extremely important.
Right.
So actually, this is going to lead me to a couple of conversations, a couple of topics. I like this. Actually, I'm glad we're talking about this. I'm excited. So I don't think the bench is fully appreciated. If you look at the 95, 96 Bulls, to me, the greatest team of all time in any sport, in my opinion, that bench was extremely important. Tony Kukoc, in my opinion, was the leader of that bench. 6th man of the year, extremely talented, probably the best player from Europe at that time that came over to the States. You look at the players like Steve Kerr, Judd Bushler, Bill Wennington, Randy Brown, Scott Burrell.
Even Dickie Simpkins.
Dickie Simpkins. Yes, Dickie Simpkins. Yes. All of those players had a role to play. And it would have been real easy to be like, you know what, man, I'm not getting my time. I want to be salty. Mm-hmm. But they all played their part. Michael Jordan didn't play all 48 minutes. Neither did Scotty. Neither did Dennis. Not even Luke Longley played all 48 minutes. Ron Harper didn't play all 48 minutes. So going back to these super teams, and we're being in this era of where it's sexy and cool to have 4 Hall of Famers on your team, but then, you can't afford a decent bench. Now all of a sudden, you look at a team like the Lakers right now. They have LeBron and AD, and they had DeMarcus before he got hurt. Now they got Dwight Howard. You got Rajon Rondo, a team full of talent, but where's your bench, right? I'm not saying the Lakers have a bad bench right now, but I'm using them as an example. You use those headline players, but then where's your bench? You have to have a full team. Mm-hmm. So bringing this back around to Marcus as a coach, what do you look for in a player? Where are you looking for players? But in particular, what do you look for in a player when you're forming a roster? Because it's not just about how many times you put that ball through the rim.
I have to use my team for example. This year coming up, I had returning players that I was looking at, or that I had. Number one, you're always going to have these superstars on a team, but you have to have people that are willing to play their role. Eventually, if you really look at it, man, everybody on the team is a role player.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's a misunderstood. That word is misunderstood.
Yes.
Everybody is a role player.
Yeah. Everybody is a role player. For all you basketball players out there, you're a role player. I'll tell you that. I'll look at the camera. You are a role player. You know what I'm saying? It just all depends upon what your role is and do you understand it. That's the key. When you look at that in any of those championship Bull runs, those teams, everyone knew their role. And if you look at the bench, nobody was soaking because I came out of the game. If once you got in the game, you produced, you gave what you possibly could. All right, cool. If coach says, hey, it's time for you to come back out, all right, cool. This is what I contributed to the team in order for us to get the win at the end of the game. That's how you have to look at it. Not as, I didn't get this or I didn't get that. Did you win in the end? Is a win, is a championship a part of your legacy now that you have won? You gotta have an understanding. But I'm sorry, man. I get on.
That's nice. I think it's valuable knowledge. I think for athletes in general. I know we're talking about basketball players, and it's a niche demographic, but I think it's a large demographic, to be honest. And I think it's a demographic that often doesn't receive the credit, right, for the level of talent. There's a lot of talented players at this level that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. I don't think they often receive the credit. I don't think they receive the fair opportunity that they deserve. But I also, on the other side of that, I don't think they receive the fair critique, the fair feedback, like you talked about.
Yeah.
And I don't think which is harmful. And when you don't when you don't receive constructive criticism, sometimes I don't say sometimes, but I think it's very easy to feel like you can walk on water. right?
Yes.
So if you're one, you have to be open to it. Right?
Yes.
You have to be, if you're going to critique me, I'm on your team, and you critique me as a player, I have to be open to that criticism to get better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have to be open to that, because if you don't, all I'm going to listen to is the good things about myself.
Right.
And then when the criticism does come, it comes across as an attack.
Yes.
So I think that what you're saying is, it's not a, I know you're going to say a rant, but I don't think it's a rant. I think it's valuable, and I think it's valuable to anybody, honestly, in any industry.
It's funny that you said that, man. I've ran into that a few times. You know, when I go to talk to a player, and it's like, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about. And then someone, you know what I'm saying, of a higher stature, like, you know, let it be, for instance, right, I called a player out, you know, it was talking about, hey, your ball handling or your shooting abilities I told him, hey, it's subpar, you need to work on it, you know what I'm saying, and this is what you can do.
Okay.
Man, you know, hey, my shot is good, my shot is great, you know, you hating on me, coach. And we had a scout that came in from the Houston Rockets, and, you know, right after the game, you know, he was, you know, breaking down each individual player's game, you know what I'm saying, telling them what they can improve upon. Sure. And when he got to that player, he was like, man, you need to do something about your dribbling, man. Your shot is, you got to fix that. And I looked at him and I just laughed.
Yeah.
I just laughed and shook my head. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't, you know, I wasn't laughing out loud. You know,
Right.
I chuckled to myself. I just shook my head. It was like, And I said the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, I had another player, man. He would shoot this jump shot, and it's like, all right, man, I know you could make this 100 times out of 100. I get it, but that's not what the people want to see. You got to give this is a business of entertainment. You have to entertain the crowd.
That's an interesting balance too, though.
Yeah.
So you're entertaining the crowd while still maintaining being a part of the team.
Yes.
Because basketball is very easy to freelance. It's not football where you have a play to run and a route to run. It's not baseball where there actually are no, you know what I mean, aside from maybe some base running instructions, there's really no, you know, set plays. Basketball, there are plays, but you're allowed to exercise your free will in the game.
I mean, you got to think about it too. That I really
disagree with.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't mean tap the table. I keep tapping the table. I don't quite agree with that. Only because let's look at Antonio Brown, right?
Okay.
Antonio Brown, yeah, he had Big Ben gave him a route to run, right?
Yeah.
But if that route is broken, Antonio Brown is gonna get open.
Okay.
And Big Ben is gonna throw him the ball.
Okay. Well, I don't know about Big Ben throwing the ball. He likes to throw it to the line. That's another conversation.
But you know what I'm saying? Hey, but at the end of the day, man, you know, it's, you know, a receiver, man, if that route is broken, man, he's gonna find a way to get open. It's the same thing in basketball. You know, you draw your plays up, and players have to be able to you have to be able to adjust and adapt on the court. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that basketball IQ comes into play. The play breaks down. All right, cool. Play basketball.
Sure.
You know, do what feels right, but still keep it in line with your team.
With the team concept.
You know what I'm saying? Like do, you know, continue on with the wishes of the coach. If he says, all right, cool, you know what I'm saying, I want a backdoor cut, you know, make sure that my forward gets the ball with an alley-oop, you know, coming down from the backside with the center, all right, cool. Make sure if that play breaks down, I'm still going to ensure that my center's, he got that alley-oop. Even though, you know, the play still broke down, that's what it is. Sure. That's what the coach wanted. Players, they get away from that, man. It's just like, oh, man, I need to do 9, 10 combination dribbles and, you know what I'm saying, pull up on a three. Oh, man, let me say this for the record, man. If I see one more kid give me a 10-set combination dribble and shoot a three, oh my gosh, man. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, the youth nowadays just focuses on what you see on TV. Yes, you see Steph Curry shooting threes. You see Klay Thompson shooting threes. You see Kyrie dribbling. Yeah, that's cool. But y'all are not focusing on what they primarily work on. They perfect the mid-range. They perfect the close-up shot. They perfect all of that before they extend past a pass into the three-point line. Sure. And I need you guys to understand that, man. Like, understand that concept. Everything that they're working on in the game is for them in their game. It's not for you in your game. You are basically, man, you're putting yourself in isolation when you don't have to. You have 4 other players on the court. That's a totally different ball game.
Their skill sets work within the team dynamics of what they're on.
Yes, the NBA.
Not
man.
Everybody's playing on the Golden State Warriors.
Right,
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you're not on the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? You're in a lower level league of basketball, man. So understand and know the team concept. See the players' movements, man. Pass the ball. Stop dribbling so much. I'm sorry, man. I had to say that because I watched a kid at least shoot 16 threes in one game. And
Was he making them?
He only made 30% of them. 30%. Oh, man. In the NBA, the requirement is at least 40%. So you're undershooting, son. You're undershooting. And that's for certain teams. That is a fact. Yeah, you need to be shooting at least 80 and 40. 80% from the mid-range and 40%, at a minimum 40% from the three-point line. And you need to be shooting at least 75% from the free throw line. They really prefer 80% from the free throw line as well. Sometimes 90, depending upon what team. If you don't like to do your research. Well, if you think I'm lying, do your research.
As we bring this to a close, do you have any parting thoughts, just in general? I mean, your story is a story of resilience. It's a story of you definitely are an inspirational person. You've been through a lot. You've seen a lot in this world. You've traveled to a lot of places, and I imagine that those experiences are part of the formula that make you the coach that you are, which I think your star is on the rise, definitely. So, think about the things that we've talked about in your story, about networking, about the importance of feedback and being open to constructive criticism. I think when I hear that, and we've talked a lot about this in the context of in particular minor league basketball and sports, but I think it pertains to anybody, anywhere. What are just your parting thoughts, parting words?
Teamwork, man. And that's no matter where you are in life. You have to be a part or establish yourself within a team. Each one of your team members, number one, they need to be progressive. And yes, there are going to be times to where you're going to flatten out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to you're not going to necessarily, man, I'm trying to think of the words, man. My words are all jumbling together because I got a lot to say, but I need to put me on time limit. But yeah, man, everybody wants to, increase. I use a mountain, for example, right?
Well, you can, if you got more, we're gonna have a round table, so you can hold on to those.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a bonus interview to this.
Yeah, I'll do that then. But I'll keep it short, man. Everybody's trying to go up the mountain. Your team should all be striving to go up this mountain. Whether, you know what I'm saying, you have one person at the top or one person that's ahead of you guys, or whether y'all are on the same path. Everybody needs to be trying to go for that same goal, reach that same dream. Everybody needs to be on the same accord. You know what I'm saying? If you have a person that's not about that, then I'm sorry, man, you gotta let them go. And you have to realize that. And there's no shame in it. You know what I'm saying? They have to be about the team. Yes, of course, there's going to be a time when you're going to, have to venture off and go about your go, on your own. But in the end, if that person is about the team, they're going to bring the team with them. Appreciate you, Coach Shad.
Well, I definitely appreciate your time and your thoughts on everything we talked about. We're going to have a bonus interview after this, so you can catch us on YouTube for that interview. It's going to be with you and DJ Unprotected. I think you both are going to have a lot to say. But if people want to follow you on social media, where can they find you, especially on Instagram?
Oh man, just look for my name, man, Marcus Prentiss. I've been around for a while. You can actually Google me.
Here we go.
Hey, what did the kids say? Google me, I'm famous.
Wow. Oh my.
Yeah, man. If you type my full name in, man, Marcus, Marcus, Prentiss, Prentiss. You can search me up, look me up on Google, man. My face is literally on there, whether I'm in uniform or not. You know what I'm saying? But for real, man. Marcus Prentiss on Facebook, Marcus Prentiss on Instagram, Marcus Prentiss on Twitter. Yeah, I don't think I got anything else out there.
Oh my gosh, you got a MySpace?
Hey, I used to have one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I used to have one, man. But yeah, man, shouts out to, man, all the young aspiring kids out there, man, the youth, man. I see y'all out there working, man. Continue working and continue working on being a team, trusting your coaches, man. Oh yeah, another shout out to my Judson Rockets, my junior Rockets out there. Love y'all, man. That's it.
All right. Well, that's the end of episode 2. We hope you'll come back for episode 3. Thanks again to Coach Marcus Prentiss.
Thank you.